Hey guys, this week for Weapons Wednesday, we're going to test out some of our newest weapons, including this modern combat Naginata. But before we begin, if you could just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. All right. So as we've done in previous weeks, I had Amanda go back into the warehouse and grab a bunch of our newest items, package them up for me so I don't know what they are. Plus, she got a bunch of watermelon for me to test the different weapons on. So I'm kind of excited about that. But just be aware there's links to all of these products in the description of the video. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, Amanda, why don't you hand me the first item? Awesome. Actually, why don't you go ahead and open this for me just so we can see what it is. Come on, don't be shy. Come on out here.
Oh, God.
Okay, what do we have?
Hey, guys.
Okay, this is a titanium finish bat throwers. That's cool. We've actually shown off some of the bat throwers in previous videos. What did we show last time? Was it the gold ones?
I thought it was the gold ones.
The gold
yeah.
ones. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I don't think we did the fire ones, right?
Yeah, I don't think we did those. So we've got a bunch of different bat throwers on the website. These ones are kind of cool. So this is that titanium finish color, which gives it kind of that rainbow look to it, which is really nice. And one thing that you don't think about with throwers is when you throw them sometimes they'll get lost on the ground. So that titanium finish kind of gives it a shine that'll allow you to easily find it if you throw it in the woods. So this is actually made out of a 1065 German surgical steel. Have you ever thrown these?
No.
Okay, gotcha. But you've thrown stars before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these things are really easy to throw, and that's my favorite thing about them. It comes 3 to a set, and they come with this nylon case, so there's actually 3 of them in here. But I actually want to try throwing them, and you were nice enough to bring these watermelons for me, so do you want to set that up on the Wing Chun dummy?
Sure.
Okay, awesome.
Oh.
Perfect. And I'm going to pull that out just a little bit. Okay, so why don't you just go ahead and step back just a little bit, and I'm just going to throw it overhand like this. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't even really matter where it strikes the watermelon. It'll stick in on the wing, it'll stick in on the ears. I mean, really, these bat throwers are one of the easiest things to throw. So I love them, I think they're awesome, and they just look cool. So why don't I go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to something else. All right, Amanda, hand me the next item. Awesome, thank you. Oh cool, a butterfly knife. I love butterfly knives. Okay, so this is called the Warhawk butterfly knife. Let's just take a look at this. Oh, awesome. Look at that design. I love that. So this is inspired by the P-40 Warhawk airplane, and we've all seen that design on the front of an airplane before. I think that looks so cool. Let's just feel this. Yeah, that actually feels really nice. It's got a good feel to it. I'm not a big fan of the CSGO style butterfly knives, like these curved handles like this. They're really popular right now, but I kind of grew up with the straight handled balisong, so that's what I'm used to. This thing also has that spring latch, which is really cool. Like, watch this. If I just kind of squeeze the handle, the latch opens, and then I can just kind of grab the latch and fling it out like that. So that's kind of nice. I like that. But I grew up without a spring latch, so I kind of am used to just a standard latch, and that's kind of what I like. But overall, this feels really nice. I mean, it's smooth. It feels well made. The design is awesome. I love that we're seeing more and more blades with designs on them like that. I just think that's so cool. The overall length of this is 9.5 inches, which is good, and the blade is 4 inches, and it's made out of a 440 stainless steel, so pretty awesome. But anyway, that's about all I have to tell you about that, so why don't I go ahead and put this away and let's move on to something else. All right, Amanda, hand me the next box. Awesome. Okay, let's see what this is. Oh, cool. Okay, well, this is the Blackthorn Shillelagh Club, and it must have been about 2 or 3 months ago that we did the Shillelagh walking stick. So Yeah, this is just a little bit smaller version of that. So the shillelagh is an interesting weapon, and it actually has a really cool history behind it. Back hundreds of years ago, almost 1,000 years ago, Ireland was ruled by Britain, and the Irish people were not allowed to have weapons, so they decided to come up with their own weapon based on a walking stick. And that's where the shillelagh comes from. So the way these things were made is really interesting. The way they do it is they go out into the woods and they'd search for a wood called blackthorn, sometimes oak, but typically blackthorn. And they'd try to find a stick that had a big bulb on the end that would give it a little bit of momentum when they swang it. So what they would do is they would take the stick and they'd put it into their fireplace to cure the wood and to strengthen it. But because it was sitting in your fireplace for usually months, sometimes a year, it would get this black coloring to it from the soot in the fireplace. And that's how they were made. So pretty interesting. So this specific shillelagh is made out of a virtually indestructible polypropylene. So this is going to be very difficult to break. And it's got this leather wrist strap on it, so you're not going to lose your weapon if you're ever using it. It's about 20 inches long, and it weighs roughly a pound. But you guys don't care about that. You guys want to see me hit something with it. So Amanda, why don't you bring over one of those watermelon? And you know what I'd like to do is I'd like to just whack it like this, but I'm going to be the one who has to clean this room, so I do not want to hit it like this and have the watermelon juice go all over the wall. So I think what I'm going to do is just crush it down like that and see what it does to this watermelon. So, all right, here we go. You guys ready? Let's do this. Okay, so as you can see, that little bulb on the end there just smashed in so beautifully right into there. So think what that would do if that actually hit like a skull or something. That is deadly. I absolutely love this weapon. I think this is one of the most unique and interesting weapons out there. I love it. But let's go ahead and hit this watermelon one more time. All right, that was fun. All right, I'm gonna put this away, clean up the mess, and let's go on to something else. All right, Amanda, hand me the next item.
There you go.
Awesome. Oh, cool. Yeah, I like this thing. This is called the Modern Combat Kukri. I love Kukri knives. I think they're so cool. Well, let's just take a closer look at this guy. All right, so look at that. This is like a traditional kukri, but it's got a more modern design to it, and I love that. So the blade is made out of a 3CR13 stainless steel, and if we look at it, it's a full tang blade that goes all the way through the handle. So that's just built really nicely. Now the handle itself is made out of an ABS plastic, but it's not like some cheap plastic. This is actually a really good, rigid, comfortable handle. You can tell that it's really well made. Like, look, it's got these finger grooves in it. Don't know if you can see that on camera, but it makes it really comfortable to hold. And it's also got these thumb grooves in the blade that allow you to get extra control with the knife. So I love that about it. I think it's so cool. It's got that black finish on it, which just gives it kind of that unique look to it. And then it's also got a vented blade, which, you know, sometimes they'll make a vented blade to kind of decrease the weight a little bit. This one, it's not enough venting for that. It's actually, you can tell that it's just put in there for aesthetic appeal. But it just looks awesome. I love the look of this. I think it's so cool. It just feels like a really well-made knife. But again, you guys don't care. You just want to see me cut something with it. So Amanda, why don't you hand me another watermelon? Thank you. All right, and let's see how sharp this blade is. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now the back of it isn't sharp at all. It's kind of cool how they designed it though, so it almost looks like there's a blade in the back. So you could actually take that to a belt sander and sharpen that up too if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, because this blade is plenty sharp and that's sharp. The point is very sharp. But let's just see what it can do to that watermelon. I'm just gonna slice along sideways and see how it does. Yeah, so I mean, that just sliced right through really nicely. We could actually eat this when we're done, and it looks so good. Doesn't that look so good? So the overall length of this thing is approximately 16 inches, and the blade length is about 10.5 inches. and the weight is about 15 ounces. So that's actually a really nice weight for a kukri. I love the feel of this. I think it's so awesome. And it comes with this nylon sheath, which is actually really well made. So fits in there really nicely for storage. I love that. It's got the belt loop on it. Pretty awesome. But let's go ahead and put this away and move on to our last item. All right, Amanda, hand me the last box.
There you go.
Awesome. It's a big one. Let's see what this is. This is cool. Okay, so this is called the Modern Combat Naginata. I love Naginata. I really love them. Naginata are interesting. They were a Japanese weapon, which was a bladed weapon that was connected to a pole that they would use as a handle. So a really cool weapon back in feudal Japan. This one is a more modernized version of it, which just looks awesome. This is that fiber-filled nylon handle, which, as we know, are really, really well made and really strong and durable. So that thing is going to be next to impossible to break. The blade is made out of a 1065 carbon steel, and that sucker is sharp. Wow. And it's got a black finish to it. I just love the modern futuristic look of it. It looks so cool. And you can see at the end of it on the pommel, it's got this little spot that we could add a wrist strap to it if we wanted to. And it comes with this nylon sheath, which is actually like a really well-made sheath. Like you can see it's got kind of vinyl at the end, and it's got a shoulder strap on it, so we could wear this around our shoulder. I mean, how intimidating is that? That's so cool. The overall length is approximately 40 inches, and the blade itself is approximately 20 inches. And I think that's about all I have to say about it, but you know what we want to do? Is we want to actually cut something with this. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab another watermelon and see how it cuts.
There you go.
So yeah, I think this is awesome. I would love to just slam that down like that and chop into it, but then I'm gonna wreck the table. So we're gonna have to do a kind of slice like this, but man, that is so awesome. And this part of the blade, I like how they're doing this with blades too, like how they kind of bevel it down a little bit so it's not sharp here, but it just gives it a really cool aesthetic look. I love that. So yeah, let's cut through this watermelon. Yeah, so that just sliced like butter. I mean, this thing is awesome. This is really a really cool, modern looking weapon. I think this is so awesome. But if you have any questions on this weapon or any of the other items I showed off on this video, definitely leave them in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel, and check out KarateMart.com because we've got all sorts of really cool weapons on there. But until next week, we'll see you Weapons Wednesday.